Tuesdays is known as $2 Tuesdays at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, where you can get the hottest handicappers' best bet or daily package for only $2. Tuesdays is known as $2 Tuesdays at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, where you can get the hottest handicappers' best bet or daily package for only $2.
Welcome into First Pitch. I am Drew Martin, joined today by Steve Merrill and Dave Koken of WagerTalk.com. It is Tuesday, October 11th, playoff edition coming to you. We talked about the two early games on today's slate. Yesterday's show, we'll talk about in-depth the two night games here. Cleveland Guardians and the New York Yankees, followed by the San Diego Padres and the LA Dodgers, two of the best in the business. Steve Merrill, Dave Koken, check them both out, WagerTalk.com. Guys, let's get after it here. Cleveland at New York, 7:40 Eastern slate. Quantrill versus Cole, minus 200 favorites here. Dave, we can start off with you. As high as minus 220, as low as minus 190, looking at the WagerTalk Live odds screen. Quantrill's been good. Cole's been good as well. Heck of a pitching matchup. What are you liking here, Dave?
Well, I'm not going against Quantrill for the simple reason that Cleveland basically never loses when he's on the mound. I think they're 16-1 in his last 17 starts, so I don't want to do that. But the matchup favors the Yankees. I mean, Garrett Cole's throwing it well. The Yankees have a decided edge on offense. I think the Yankees' bullpen, which is their weak point, is going to be strengthened by the fact they're moving Taillon and Herman to the pen for this series. They might come back in the rotation if the Yankees move on to the ALCS. But for this series, they'll be at the pen. So that somewhat offsets what was a big edge for Cleveland. The biggest edge they had was in the bullpen, which has been sensational. I can't lay this price, though. It's that simple. You just, to borrow Steve's expression, falling knife. You don't want to get under one. And that's what you're doing if you bet against Quantrill. So, I'm forced to stay out of the game. If I had to bet something, probably take a shot with the under, but I don't feel comfortable with that either.
Fair enough, Dave. And Steve, coming to you next. You liking anything in Yankee Stadium?
I mean, on the surface, you look at the two American League matchups and you figure, Houston, Yankees, it looks like they're destined to meet. But there's a lot of people, including Dave Sharapan was just on Wager Talk today with us, that thinks Cleveland is a live dog in this series. Almost starting to look a little bit like a public dog here. Now you do worry about the distraction that the Yankees had over the final couple of weeks. They had nothing to play for except to try to get Aaron Judge a few more home runs. Now they have to refocus and play playoff-style baseball. But I think they'll be ready to go here. I think Cole will be ready to go as well. And it's a 5-game series. This round is 5, not 7. So game 1 is really critical, more so than it is in the championship series. And I just think the Yankees at home with the extra rest, you do worry about a little bit of the layoff factor. But the fact that they've kind of been off for several weeks now, just kind of going through the motions, I think they'll be ready to play here today. As Dave said, it's a big number, though. Minus 200. I'm not big on a fan of laying $2 in baseball, but the run line does get it down to plus money. So you now get a $2 favorite at actually plus $1.10, plus $1.15. So if you like the Yankees, I think you probably play the run line, hope they can win by margin. That, of course, goes a little contrarian to the low total, which is 7 to the under. And I wouldn't disagree with Dave. I think the under is worth a look. So Yankee run line and the under don't exactly correlate. But I think it'll be a low-scoring game, and I think the Yankees find a way to win it.
Steve Merrill, Dave Koken. Guys, just a couple more points here. 5-1. That was what the Yankees won the season series. They outscored Cleveland 38-14. Also, Garrett Cole's numbers have been really good against the Guardians, not the Indians anymore. 2 earned runs and over 12 innings pitched. But to Dave's point earlier, Quantrill, 16-1. That's Cleveland when he's on the hill. He's 11-0, 2.95 ERA. He hasn't lost since July 5th. Just really tough to step in front of that. So kind of some cross currents here in Yankee Stadium tonight, prime time. It's a good one. We also got a good one late night here on the West Coast, all NL West matchup. Steve, coming to you first. Clevenger versus Urias. We're talking the Padres and the Dodgers. Minus 225 favorites here, as high as minus 230. That's the Dodgers at home. 7.5 being the total. Late night, last game on the board here, Steve. Are you liking anything NL West battle?
Yeah, I mean, I think the public is somewhat looking at San Diego as well. They like that momentum after upsetting the Mets, and I can understand that. It's a very similar setup to the Yankee game, is that you have a team that's coming off an impressive divisional wild card round, rather, basically upset winning the Guardians and the Padres, taking on what for most of the season were considered the two best teams in baseball, the Yankees and Dodgers. There's no question the Dodgers were the best team in baseball, one of the best teams in recent history. And, you and I have talked about this, Drew. Their run differential is just off the chart. I mean, this is a team, not only they win 111 games, which is pretty darn impressive, but they were plus 334 net runs. To put that in perspective, the Braves were only plus 180, and the Yankees were plus 240, Astros plus 219, Dodgers plus 334, almost 100 runs, actually 100 runs better basically than any other team in baseball. With that said, though, it's a 5-game series against a division rival. And you do worry about the layoff. The Dodgers have not had a real serious game for several weeks either, but they just have so much offensive talent, and you like how the pitching is setting up for them in this series as well. So I do think the Dodgers win this series, and that most likely means they're going to have to win game 1 tonight in this best of 5. Once again, similar to the Yankees series, though, it's a big price. This is well over $2, as high as $2.30 range. So you're going to want to play the run line if you're taking the Dodgers tonight. Get that down from minus 230 down to minus 1.5, minus $1.15, $1.10 pick them basically. And of course, as we all know, Dodgers run line's been the way to play them for several years now. They either lose outright and the underdog cash is 2-1, like the Padres could tonight, or the Dodgers are going to win by margin. I think that's the safer play here is Dodgers run line. Once again, total is only 6.5, so that makes that run line a little dicey, but it's been pretty good for several years now.
6.5 anymore. That total's 7.5.
I'm sorry. I was looking at the Houston total. I'm in 7.5. Yeah. No, Houston 6.5. I was looking at the bottom game there. Yeah, Dodgers 7.5, which gives you a little more cushion with the run line.
That's the big thing for me, though. I'll just slide into my analysis. I like the over in this game, and I'm no longer able to bet it. It opened 6.5. I was okay playing over 7, but the 7's juiced to minus 130 or minus 135, or at 7.5 in spots now. Well, this is just betting 101. Don't take the worst of a number to that extent. You just don't do it. This is where you have to say, okay, I missed the vote, and I'm staying out of it. As far as the analysis goes, I think Clevenger is the worst pitcher on the board today by a pretty good margin. I think the Dodgers are going to get to him. Urias is strong. The Dodgers own the Padres. So I'm not really interested in San Diego. I think the game probably goes over the 7.5. I mean, I made this 8, but I can't recommend it as a bet because you're just taking too much the worst of it. This was one where the early bird caught the worm. I was not an early bird. I didn't catch the worm, so I'm going to set it out. But in terms of an opinion, I think the over is what takes place here. I think the Dodgers get 5 or better in this game by themselves.
Yeah, Dave, Clevenger, it's kind of almost a unique situation. He wasn't on the roster for the wild card round due to illness, now starting game number 1 of this series. So I don't necessarily read that as a bet on either. I agree with you. He's kind of up against it. And this Dodgers lineup, I mean, plus 334 run differential for the season. And Steve, they have the 4th best record in baseball. History. Anytime you're kind of talking baseball history, the 4th best. I mean, I guess we'll be able to make the argument if they win the World Series that this is a top 5 team in MLB history. That's something tough to step in front of. But at the time, we're seeing minus 225, minus 230. And of course, they have the ERA leader in the NL, Urias on the hill. And to Dave's point, own the Padres 14-5 against the Padres this season. And they've outscored them 109-47. So double them up in run differential. A lot of points here towards the Dodgers tonight, late night. Guys, let's go around the horn here, kind of in conclusion. If you have a best bet, throw it out. I know we only talked about 2 games, maybe betting philosophy in the MLB playoffs. What else you got going on at WagerTalk, Steve? Guys, check them out, WagerTalk.com. And we got the coupon code PITCH99. Get the rest of any handicapper, including Steve Merrill's, rest of MLB season, the whole playoffs for just $99. Check that out, PITCH99 at checkout. Check Steve Merrill out, WagerTalk.com. Steve, anything kind of final thoughts here?
Yeah, great coupon code there. Get the entire MLB postseason for just $99. That's less than like 1 win, basically. So Pitch 99 gets you all of baseball for $99 through the World Series. There's also an instant discount on the rest of the college and pro football season. Go to my drop-down menu right now in football and get NFL NCAA combo and get an instant discount there. No promo code needed for football as well. And we've been seeing it well in football this year. Let's look at a free play, though, for Tuesday night MLB action, a game that was just a bit outside from making the cut. I'm going to look at the late night game at 9:30 Eastern in the National League and go with the best team in baseball, one of the best teams in history, the LA Dodgers. Not looking to lay 2.5 to 1 on the money line. So let's get that way down on the run line to -1.5, -105, below a pick'em price by laying the 1.5. And the Dodgers basically always win by margin or they lose outright. So that's always been the way to play the Dodgers for several seasons now. It's worked extremely well this year. And we'll take the best team in baseball to win this game and most likely win by 2 runs or more with LA Dodgers -1.5, -105 run line. San Diego does have momentum coming in here after upsetting the Mets in that 3-game series, but they now have to play their 4th game in 5 days with travel back to the West Coast. Pitching staff is a little shorthanded. Obviously, they don't have their preferred starters on the mound. Darvish, Musgrove winning the last series. Clevenger is a mismatch here against Urias. And just to put in perspective how good this Dodger team was this year, not one of the most winningest teams ever, but their run differential was plus 334 net runs. Padres were plus 45. They were almost 300 net runs better than San Diego. They had a 2-1 edge in the head-to-head meetings this year. And I think it continues tonight. We won't overthink this one. We'll take one of the best teams in recent history, the best team this year, the Dodgers, to win Game 1 and to do so by margin. Dodgers -1.5, -105 run line, Game 1, Tuesday night, 9:30 Eastern. Don't forget my best bets and additional free plays on my page, Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com.
At Steve Merrill on Twitter, 2 R's, 1 L. We got Dave Koken here, WagerTalk.com. Obviously knows his MLB, college football as well. He's got a lot going on right now. NHL, can check him out. And for the rest of his MLB playoffs, Pitch 99 at checkout. Huge discount there, just $99 for the rest of the season. Dave, throw it over to you. Final thoughts. If you got a best bet, throw it out there. Anything in conclusion here, Dave?
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for action, don't get the package from me. I've only made 3 bets in baseball so far in the postseason. They're 3-0. But if I can't get my number, I won't bet it. I am anal when it comes to discipline and getting the right price. Anybody who's followed me over the years knows that. I just will not bet into beat-up numbers. So I like the Dodgers game over, but the number has gotten out of hand, and I'm not going to bet it. I have one bet tonight. It's a 2% play. I'm not going to go nuts this early in the season, but I did play the New York Rangers on the money line for 2% play against the Tampa Bay Lightning tonight in the NHL. As far as football goes, got 2 games up already for college football this weekend. I like the card, so this might be a good week to jump in and grab an all-access pass and get everything that I've got the rest of the week.
All right, Dave. And guys, I'll finish this up with a little thought I threw out on Twitter. Betting all the dogs here, the teams that won in the wild card round. Now we're in the divisional round and trying to take advantage, at least that's the theory, of riding this kind of hot team, the team that won enough to get here against the team that just had a relatively long layoff. And we get big plus prices being able to do that. Phillies plus 170 to win the series. Mariners plus 205. We get the Guardians plus 175 and the Padres plus 200. So if it splits, it's a big payday. If it goes 1-3, we do lose a little bit. Hopefully don't get swept here. But yeah, you get the point. Just betting each one of them, trying to take advantage of the kind of new setup here. and maybe ride the hot team to a couple wins. So maybe that's something for you if you're looking to follow along, kind of some fun here in the divisional round. But guys, that's going to do it for the show. If you like the content, please smash the like button. Feel free to reply below where you agree, where you disagree. All is welcome. Check out Dave Koken, Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com. I am Drew Martin. Thanks for tuning in. We will talk tomorrow.
Tuesdays is known as $2 Tuesdays at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, where you can get the hottest handicappers' best bet or daily package for only $2.